Well, I mean, like growing up, I always loved like to tell stories. Like kids from like my neighborhood like would come over. We could go around the campfire like as if we were like some country bumpkins. Just like I tell like horror stories and ghost stories and stuff.
Like ones you're making up.
Whoa.
Exactly. Yeah, one's like off the top of my head or like
Wow.
You're just telling random stories.
telling ghost stories and stuff.
That's
and I
kind of
just
like
loved it.
that's kind of like Phil. We call him Three Finger Phil.
Okay.
No, Phil. You guys are kind of alike in that sense. Like,
Yeah.
love to tell stories.
For those who don't know who Phil is,
Yeah,
Phil's the behind the scenes.
Behind the
He's
scenes.
doing
Dude,
our
man.
BTS videos.
He does the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a comic by day, and
Yeah.
by night he helps us out with videos. But
Well,
awesome.
one night a week, but
yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, your storytelling.
Yeah. So and then I obviously like, I love to read books and whatnot, and I throughout high school I was like I was actually surprised. I was like, I was actually able to write like a lot of good essays. I was like maybe I should try to write someday. Went to UM. I couldn't really do screenwriting. My father actually wrote a couple like movies as well and TV shows.
That's what's up.
But I couldn't really get into it because it was like in order to do that major, the cinema screenwriting major, it would have like intersected with my football.
Yeah.
So what I did was I did all the prerequisite classes, and then when I left early, I was actually able to come back because Miami will always honor your scholarship after you leave. Like even if
Really?
you leave after 2.5, I was there for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Came back and I was able to actually get my degree in like screenwriting, like actually major in it.
Yeah. That's
and
incredible.
then from there, I made weird connections. Ended up working at MGM Studios, and then I got into USC on a whim. I literally applied like last minute because I was like, I'm not going to do grad school, but like part of
You
me
got
has
in.
always wanted to go to USC. I was like,
Yeah.
that was my dream, So I applied last minute, got in. And yeah, now I'm in grad school, and that's led to a lot of other relationships.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm working on a couple different movies that like screenplays outside of USC that are hopefully, I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch, but we're getting closer on a couple of them.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I can't really dive too deep into them right now, but
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be watching one of them in the
Dude,
next couple years.
dude,
That's
That's so cool.
that's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Like you're the epitome of a student athlete, right?
Right.
You play in the league, you go to grad school,
Mhm.
you have a lot of stuff going on the professional end. I much respect to that. I mean, that's
you.
what I try to aspire after.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
pretty
you.
incredible.
Dude, what's the process behind writing a script? Like, do you have the idea, and then like how long does it take? Because I have
Yeah.
zero knowledge of this industry and how it works.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole deal of it. It's like no one really knows. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone has a different process. Like some people, it's an experience that leads to an idea. Some people have a log line. Sometimes it's a personal experience. But it's all about just having like something like having an idea that you can explain in 22 words or less. That's what Steven Spielberg says.
Wow.
I think.
That's
I have
fire.
an idea you can explain.
I'm gonna use that
22
in
words or
the
less.
banking world. My clients.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's the basis for a movie idea.
Like basically like something that's tight and that has a obviously like if it's too long, it has to probably be a TV show or a pilot.
Oh,
But something that can be streamlined and straightforward and done in 110 pages or less,
Sure.
or 120 minutes or less.
Mm.
From there, you start writing your outline. And one of the things is like after you study it enough, which is why I say like film school, I think some people say it's pointless, some people say it's necessary. You learn like structure. And like, if you look at a lot of major movies, whatever, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Spider-Man, they all have like a similar structure, a similar 3-act structure that's been ingrained in creatives' minds since like the start of time, since like
Yeah.
the Shakespeare era.
wow.
And from that,
This is getting really technical. By the
well, yeah, I'm getting
I love
really
it.
into
Dude,
this.
I love it. Yeah,
Really
keep
into
it going.
this.
This is
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
But once you figure out structure, then it's really easy to just like similar to football, like plug and play.
Yeah.
You get a character, you get Luke Skywalker. He has his central need.
Yeah.
You figure out a way for him to attack that need. Midpoint of the movie, he probably doesn't get his need.
Yeah.
By the end, he achieves what he needed to get, whether it's tragic or it's successful. But you answer a certain question that you pose at the start of the film. And it's like, once you figure that out, it's like every movie you've ever seen, you can apply that structure. And if you have a good idea, compelling characters, you can figure out a way to make something at least somewhat readable and interesting,
Wow.
I guess,
So,
So
So are you watching movies in a different way than the general public is, and through a different lens?
Right.
Because when I'm watching a football game, I'm watching the coverage and
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah,
at the
me too.
quarterback.
Still.
Right, exactly. All of
Yeah.
us, right?
2 years removed. 3 years
Exactly.
removed,
And so is that how you're watching movies? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, this central character, they could have done this instead
Yeah.
of that or whatever.
Well, especially and I mean especially now because it's like at USC. There's a professor. His name is Professor Irving Belatonge. He's like the guru on structure, and like I've been like because I'm taking his class. It's like every week we're just breaking down stuff like into sequences, like by the minute, by the scene. So now, yeah, it's kind of like ruined. It's like ruined movie watching for me. Like I'm like watching whatever. I was watching. What was I watching yesterday? I was watching like American Sniper, and I'm just thinking, like,
Oh,
okay,
that movie was fire.
really good movie. Really good movie.
Don't tell me it was horrible.
I no, I enjoy it, but I'm just like, okay, like we're at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
Okay, he's probably gonna get his like call to action. Okay, we're at the 50-minute mark. It's gonna get really intense for him. We're at the midpoint. Okay, something tragic. There's gonna be a low point here. Okay, we're at the climax. Another low point. Okay, we're at the end. This is where he finds his need or his want. So it's like, every movie I watch now, I'm like, it's almost like I have my stopwatch. And I'm like
Just
timing
waiting for it.
for
It's gotta be like watching tape
Yeah,
versus
that's
watching
crazy.
a game,
Yeah.
like a Super Bowl with your boys versus like
Yeah.
watching tape. Like, all right, this is what the defense is. This is
Yeah.
their tendencies.
Yeah.
There's gotta
That's
be that
clean.
same way, right?
Well, I was gonna ask too,
Exactly.
from ruining movie watches as well as more so figuring out the plot line early, like
Right.
clicking like early 20 minutes in, being like, oh, I know how this is, and like
Exactly.
you already know exactly
Well,
where the
I was
movie's
watching
going.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier earlier, and I called my boy it beforehand, and he's really into movies as well. And we were just like talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we're like, okay, this is probably gonna happen at the end of the episode. This is gonna be the cliffhanger. The Wakandan is probably gonna want to get whatever Zemo back to Wakanda, yada yada yada. And it was like, boom, 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 and like me and my boy, we guessed the episode like down to like
Wow.
the act, like the structure
It's that predictable.
of it. And I was like,
Dang. I didn't know. I
it's
didn't
right.
know all
When
this.
I'm
When
watching,
yeah.
it's totally different,
It's
bro.
like, damn. Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That happened. This dude's like,
Dude, I never see the twist.
Yeah.
coming, so-
which is why like they say if you are able to like be able to like predict twists and like twists, then you can play and like twist the genre and like play against certain tropes and make things unique
Yeah.
and original. You know what I mean?
Oh, you could change the script.
Change
you're
the
saying. I
script or
like
change
that.
the trope
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Because if you see it
so-
coming, you know how to catch other people off guard
Exactly.
if you've seen it before they see
Yeah.
it too.
Which is why in a lot of my scripts I don't like happy endings.
Yeah.
I like tragic endings.
Dude, yeah, I have,
I hate
I have a
tragic
friend
endings.
who's a film buff, and he says the same exact thing. He
Okay.
hates like superhero movies where everything turns
Right.
out well. 'Cause
You
he
guys
likes,
hate that?
He likes like Breaking Bad, right? And the
Yeah.
Back and
Irishman.
forth.
he wants it
Yeah,
more realistic.
I kind of want the happy ending. I'm not
So-
gonna lie. Like
so
I
then-
hate that
Oh,
bad
no.
taste in my mouth. Like,
Yeah.
leave
Well,
a
that's
movie
why
you
they
didn't
play
like
super,
Infinity
like-
War. You didn't like Infinity War.
I was about to bring that up, like, but that
Yeah.
was perfect because you had another one to fix that taste in your
Yeah,
mouth. Because
Endgame.
usually, to your point, most of the
Yeah.
superhero movies end with.
I
that's what
kind of
superheroes
personally,
are, but-
I would have loved if they just left it like that in Infinity War.
Really?
I would have loved to see all the shows and movies that just pick up,
Yeah.
not from like 5 years after everyone comes back, but like
In
from
between.
when everyone's gone and it's like, damn, we gotta get out of the mud. Like we
Yeah.
gotta like
Yeah,
really
that
come,
bridge
like,
point.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
like they did that in Endgame, but I was like, I don't
More
know.
of it.
Part of me was like, I would have liked to see more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Marvel had any
Scenario.
balls, they would have gone down a what's that dude?
Marvel.
Well, be
had any
careful. This is a
balls.
USC podcast, and that's Kevin Feige. He went to USC.
I'm just
and Ryan
saying,
Coogler.
Did he really?
if they
Yeah,
wanted
that's what I'm
to,
saying. Oh, Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
He played.
Yeah.
He played under Coach Mason. Believe it
Oh,
or
at
not.
Stanford?
No, he played at. It was a school that in the Bay Area. That
Bay Area, yeah,
Yeah,
he's from
that
Bay
actually
Area.
got.
Interesting.
They no longer. Have a
Coogler's
football
the
program.
Black Panther guy, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
actually coming to. What's cool about going to grad school here is
You guys
like
probably all greats.
I took a Marvel class last
Yeah.
semester, and it was like,
Wow.
oh, Kevin Feige is coming to talk to us.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
it's
Ludwig Göransson, who like did all the music for Black Panther and Mandalorian. Like he
That's
came
sick.
and talked to us. I'm just like,
Crazy.
this is awesome.
Well,
Like,
That's clean.
Spike Lee came and talked to us.
Dude, that's
because
insane,
part of the
man.
next phase is supposed to get kind of dark, and I'm just saying with Hawkeye and him killing all those people he's killing for like
Oh,
they could have
right.
gone down that road and showed some dark shit.
Right.
But
Yeah, Ronan. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
We're like, but you're so passionate about it. Like, it's from when I
That's
look
just
at
how I
you.
am.
Yeah, no, that's
I love
awesome.
it,
But
yeah.
when I look at you, it's like, do you even think about football anymore? Because like you like the way you're talking about this is like you're about to go get ready to play for a game.
it's so
type of-
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Well, I feel like I have been in like some of the projects I've been working on.
Yeah.
It's like it's felt like I've been in like game 7 mode, honestly, the past
Yeah.
like 3 months.
Yeah.
With some of the stuff I've gotten the opportunity to work on. But to answer your question, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't miss football because I gave it everything I could give. Like, I did everything I wanted to do. You know, I didn't get to play in the league for more than 2 years, fortunately for a back injury, but like, I literally gave my back for it. Like, I literally put all I could into it. And it's like, if you're emptying your tank, you know, then you won't have any
You won't have any
regrets,
regrets.
you know? So that's just the way it goes.